The Red Raiders add another blue chip recruit out of the portal. This time in Louisiana transfer tight end Terrance Carter Jr. In today's video, we'll break down his skill set, how he could be used in a Mac Leftwich offense, and much, much more. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and the Red Raiders, well, they're scorching the earth right now. That's how on fire they are in the transfer portal. And if you're excited about what Joey McGuire and crew are doing in the transfer portal like I am, all I ask you to do is simply like the video. All right, let's jump into this because we've talked about this guy here on the channel. I think this might be the fourth time that we've talked about him. And when you go watch his film, he is arguably the best tight end in this portal class. That is not just hyping him up now that he is a Red Raider commit. No, just go watch the tape, okay? We're talking about a guy that is another blue chip recruit according to On3. And for those that don't know what a blue chip recruit is, it's basically a 4-star or higher, okay? Texas Tech, this is their fourth one in the portal in terms of a blue chip recruit that they have landed. And Terrance Carter Jr. is an absolute impact player and skill player at that matter for the Texas Tech offense in 2025. So let's just jump into this. 6'2", 239, let's round up 240. 2 years of eligibility left, a native of Killeen, Texas. In 2024, he had just under 50 catches, 48 to be exact, just under 700 yards receiving, 689 to be exact, and 4 touchdowns, averaging out about 14.5 yards per catch. He was a first-team All-Sun Belt in 2024. Listen, again, I preface a lot of these things in these commitment videos saying, okay, look, like, hey, yeah, he may be from a smaller conference. The Sun Belt's legit, people. That's one of the better mid-major conferences in the country. And Terrance Carter Jr. was an absolute bona fide star in that conference, okay? According to On3, he ranks as the 4th best tight end in this portal class and the 69th top 70 player in this portal class. Now, he has an impressive catching ability. That was the thing that stands out to me the most is like, this guy has wide receiver skills, but lines up at the tight end spot. He has a little bit of Jalen Conyers in him in terms of how he operates as a skill set from a tight end spot, okay? He's versatile. He lines up all over the field. Will he be lining up in the Wildcat like Jalen Conyers? Probably not. But he is versatile in the sense that you can line him up in the backfield in terms of, in terms of an end around. You can also line him up inside, outside, wherever you want to in terms of the wide receiver tight end positions, you can line him up out there. And the thing that stands out to me too is he's a better blocker than I think a lot of the coverage that I've seen, at least the limited film I've seen. I'm not going to say he's a great blocking tight end, but he's a lot better than a lot of these reports that I've seen from the film that I have seen. Okay. So I really like that. And a lot of programs liked him in the portal. Obviously, again, we're talking about a blue chip type recruit here in the portal. Top 4 tight end in this portal cycle. He had offers from Florida State, Arkansas, Cal, obviously Texas Tech, Houston, Illinois, Pitt, and Liberty, and there's a few others as well. Now, the interesting part is with Terrance Carter Jr., he was on campus this past weekend, or this weekend if you're listening to this, in terms of Sunday, December 15th. That's when he was on campus, okay? He's a guy, in my opinion, that complements John Carlos Miller III at the tight end spot, a position that the Red Raiders needed to address because, think about it, you're losing Mason Tharp, and you're also losing Jalen Conyers, leaving really only one tight end that has played meaningful snaps this year in John Carlos Miller III. I think Terrance Carter Jr. is a really good complementary piece in the tight end room with John Carlos Miller III, JM3 for short, right? Again, we're talking about a guy that has impact receiving skills. He's a better blocker than I think people give him credit for. And again, you can line him up and use him as a chess piece in this Mac Leftwich offense. Now, a lot of people will say, well, RC Mac Leftwich didn't use, the tight end too much at Texas State. Well, he did, but probably not as much as you would expect, right? He's going to use the tight end at Texas Tech, right? Like you already heard, basically, he's going to use the best players. Terrance Carter Jr. is going to be one of the best players on the Texas Tech offense, okay? He's that good of a player. I can't wait to see, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back, whatever the situation is. I'm looking forward to seeing the operation that Texas Tech runs out there from the standpoint of, okay, you got Caleb Payday Douglas. Do you go Coy Aiken and then you go Reggie Virgil in the slot and then Terrance Carter Jr. on the other side with Jacoby or Cam Dickey in the backfield? Either way, I'm liking what you have right there if you're Texas Tech from a skill position standpoint. And again, I don't think the Red Raiders are done. Maybe they add another wide receiver, but tight end was a pivotal point and pivotal position that the Red Raiders had to address in the transfer portal because, as we just mentioned, they're losing 2 of the 3 players that were, well, really impactful for them, whether that was from a blocking standpoint or whether that was from, well, doing everything. Jalen Connors, even high-fiving Taz Brooks down the sideline, right? This is a really good get for Texas Tech, and now they're in a position where you think about it from an offensive perspective, and there will be more players added, but you have the #1 offensive lineman by some publications' accounts, and Hunter Zambrano signed, right? You've got the #2 cornerback in the portal, according to some publications, most notably On3 in Bryce Bullock, right? You've also got Reggie Virgil, a top 10 wide receiver, that they signed in the portal as well. And now you've got another blue chip guy in Terrance Carter Jr. And listen, when you look at teams and what they do in terms of winning and impactful wins and having a chance to compete for championships, those teams typically have blue chip recruits a lot more so than the teams that don't. Okay, that's just the reality of it. And it doesn't matter if it's from the high school ranks or the portal, right? You want to have some of those homegrown guys, right, in terms of the blue chip aspect. But if you can go out and add impact players like Texas Tech is currently doing right now, and Terrance Carter Jr. fits that mold and then some, right, at the tight end position, you keep doing it. I've been on the record saying I think Texas Tech probably lands in that 12 range, maybe 10 to 12 range in terms of players added from the portal. If they can go out and add more blue chip guys, unfortunately, it's going to push some of those lower tier guys on the roster out, but it's going to elevate the overall roster for Texas Tech. And Joey McGuire and crew and really everyone within the athletic department is lockstep right now in terms of what the goal is in year #4. And this isn't Kool-Aid, right? They're not saying this. This is their actions saying it. The Big 12 championship is what they're after right now. They've said they were after it the first 3 years, but they're showing it in the portal right now with how hyper-aggressive they are being, not only from a monetary standpoint in the portal, but also who they're targeting, okay? You have 4 blue-chip guys now in the portal, and the latest one is tight end Terrance Carter Jr. from the Raging Cajuns down in Louisiana. He will be in the new tight end room with Texas Tech's current tight end, at least going into 2025, in terms of the guy that's actually played a little bit, John Carlos Miller III. Home run pickup, in my opinion. He was one of my favorite players in the portal, and now he will don the scarlet and black in 2025 in a year where Texas Tech looks like they're trying to make a big-time push with how many blue-chip guys they are solidifying and getting in the portal right now. It's a lot of fun covering it, and if you want to stay in the know on everything Texas Tech football in the portal, I would recommend, I'm a little biased, but I would recommend you do 3 things because we're giving you 100% free daily videos on everything Texas Tech football. So if you want to be a part of the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, almost 11,500 strong, almost, we'll get there by the end of the year. I promise you that, right? All you got to do is 3 things. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.